inspiration for you for the morning. I just love listening to that music as we get ready to come to you live. Well, good morning and welcome in to the Real Monica Adams Show. Love having you with us. I hope you're having a great start to your day. If you're not, let's hope that we can turn things around for you just a little bit by giving you a little positivity, inspiration, and all the good things that we've been doing now for over 2.5 years. Once again, I'm Monica. Who are you? I love for you to drop in who you are. If you're a new viewer, who turned you on to the show, or did you just find it by yourself? And where are you watching from? All those fun things. So we're on multiple platforms this morning: Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, X, Rumble, LinkedIn, all the good ones. And then I always ask you, is there a platform that we're not on that you would like for us to be on? If so, let us know. If you're new to the show, we kick things off with a little weather from our immediate area. St. Louis, Missouri is where we're broadcasting out of, but Missouri, Illinois. But we have been reaching people all over. So again, if you're in a different state or even a different country, let us know where you're watching from. We would love to know that. You see up above what our mission is. We are on a mission to change the world through positivity and hope and inspiration. All the feel-good things in the morning that you need instead of what damages your mind and your heart. That's what this show is all about. So good morning to you. I'm going to kick things off with a little news you can use, and then we're going to go back into the archives. It's a show that we did in March, which means that was literally the beginning of the show, March of 2023. And I want you to feel what the mission was at that point, how it's evolved, and some of the things that we used to do back then that I would love to dip back into because it was very interactive with you. In fact, you gave me topics that were weighing heavily on your mind, things that you wanted me to discuss with you, and we solved those problems of the world or with you together as a community. So we're going to go back to finding purpose in pain. And a lot of people think, well, pain, that doesn't sound like a positivity. No, but it's finding what do we do with the pain, because we all know we experience it. What do we do with it? How do we get out of it? And then how do we help others through it as well? So that is a show that I think a lot of you didn't get a chance to see because we have had so many new people watch. In fact, we didn't have all those platforms back then. We had Facebook and maybe YouTube, or I think it may have been Facebook only. Do you remember that? For those of you that are long timers that have been waking up with us every morning at 7 a.m., or if you remember, this could be a good trivia question down the line. We actually started the show at 6:30 back then. And we did shows in the evening. So I was doing dual shows for you, just kind of trying to get the feel of where you wanted the show to finally land. And eventually it became 7 o'clock. Sometimes I think, do you want us to start a little bit earlier? Do you want us to go a little longer? So today, tell me that. And I'm going to be there with you while we go back in the archives and we play this wonderful, really heartfelt video. I'm going to be watching along with you. So you can be commenting and I'll be writing back to you of any aha moments that you got at that time. Okay, let's kick things off with, get ready for it, a very hot day coming up, or I should say days coming up. So how many of you had storms again yesterday? We did not down here. Storms, and then I even saw that there was a tornado in one area of Missouri, not our immediate direct market, but there was a tornado, I think, in Clarksville, Missouri. Lower humidity, that's what you're going to feel when you walk out today. 87 for the high. And then tomorrow it is officially summertime, 92 degrees, just in time for the Cardinals to come back in town, right? 77 for the low. And then look at that. They're going to be miserable playing out there. I have professional athletes as well as local as well. 96, 97, 96, 94. That's Saturday through Tuesday. Hot days ahead, and I keep talking about how careful you all need to be. Slight chances, and I do mean slight chances of rain coming into next week as we stay in that pattern of the low to mid 90s. We don't see 80s back in the forecast until the following weekend on Friday and Saturday, 89 and 87. So again, protect yourself and put the sunscreen on. For those of you that are going to do anything outside, you know what we're doing on Saturday. We're going to be out in the Waterloo, Illinois area for our third annual Dudes Playground Poker Run. And again, it's going to be a hot one. We cannot stress this enough. Please take care of yourself. If you're going to be on the Harley, the motorcycles, whatever you have, if you're going to have the top down in the convertible as you come along with us on this poker run, just please take care of yourself and make sure you have plenty of water. Hydrate like crazy. Again, we would love to make this a huge outing. They said last year they had about 150 to 200 people. Let's get way over that. Okay. We're raising money for our heroes, our veterans that served our country so well that we could have our freedom. And now we want to show up big time for them. Again, free food, free entertainment, sparklers display at 9:15. It all kicks off at noon with the broadcast. And then at 1 o'clock, we'll take off. There's Dude, in case you've ever wanted to know the dog itself that it was named after, Dude's Playground on Saturday. It's going to be a hot one, but hey, we're all going to be there together. If you can't come for the poker run, you can come at about 5 or 5:30 and come together again as a family. Bring the kids out. They're going to love to see the sky lit up. All right, let's get into some news you can use. And again, coming up this morning, purpose and pain. Think about that. We're going to talk about all those things with you today. So we start things off with gas prices as we are getting closer to 4th of July. I wish I had better news on your pain at the pump, but I do not. If you're planning a summer road trip, the conflict between Israel and Iran may affect you. Analysts said U.S. gas prices are likely to climb higher starting this week as that conflict intensifies. An analyst for Gas Buddy predicts prices could rise more than 30 cents a gallon by July 4th due to the skyrocketing cost of oil. You know, any kind of conflict going on in the Middle East, or particularly if it escalates, is going to lead to rising oil prices, unfortunately. Some oil infrastructure appears damaged. Homes to Israel's largest refinery. The two sides are exchanging strikes right in that area. So Iran is one of the top oil producers in the world. So just brace for that. But, you know, even when we don't have conflict in the Middle East, I've been in the news for 30 years. I always see right around holidays, it's like it always goes up. Memorial Day, Labor Day, 4th of July, especially 4th of July. As you get into the summer, typically, don't you agree? Gas prices are going up. But now we've got another thing on top of it that's causing some problems. Okay, well, we just talked about how hot it's going to be. So I've got some tips for you to help you cut costs on your air conditioning during this weekend's heat wave. Keep your blinds shut in your sunlit rooms. Push out the hot air. So how do you do that? Use box fans to pull the hot air out of a room. Simply plug in the fan, face its blades toward the window screen to effectively remove the warm air. Utilize ceiling fans. Cook outdoors. I know that sounds crazy because it's going to be so hot, but if you avoid using the oven or the stove on these particularly hot days, instead opt for grilling outside, you can keep that heat out of your home. You can install energy efficient lighting like traditional incandescent bulbs. They generate a lot of heat, so switch to energy efficient LED bulbs. Seal and insulate your home. These are great tips from our AC friends. Take advantage of cooler days. So turn off your AC, create cross ventilation by opening your windows directly across from each other. Change your furnace filter, right? Okay, the air conditioning uses that blow motor on the furnace to push the cool air into your home. And as temperatures rise, it's important to make your AC not work harder than it has to. So just some tips for you as we get into the dog days of summer. Again, if you want to go back and kind of rewind that a little bit later on, go back to the beginning part of our show and say, hey, honey, Monica gave us some tips to keep the cost down. I mean, again, trying to help you in any way that we can. All of us work very hard for our money and I want to make sure that your dollar goes as far as it can. We talk a lot about recalls on this show, and now it's Honda's turn. They're recalling more than 250,000 vehicles due to a brake pedal issue. Here you go. The recall includes the Acura TLX model years 21 through 25, but also the Acura MDX model years 23 to 25 and the Honda Pilot model years 2023 to 2025. Again, the brake pedal pivot pin may not be secured. That could potentially cause the pedal to shift out of position, making it hard for drivers to slow or stop the vehicle. The automaker is saying that dealerships will repair the brake pedal issue for free because it's in one of their recalls. Now there's also a recall that's going to affect your kiddos or your grandkids or, your nieces, nephews. Just be aware of this one. Children's cough syrup is being recalled over possible bacterial contamination. According to the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, MedTech Products is recalling lots of its little Remedies honey cough syrup after it learned it could be contaminated with a bacteria that can cause foodborne illnesses. So the symptoms include nausea, vomiting, stomach cramps, diarrhea starting between 1 and 16 hours after exposure to the contaminated product. The recall involves 4-ounce bottles of the cough syrup. Again, it is the Little Remedies honey cough syrup. It is distributed nationwide between December of 2022 and June of 2025. Officials said the cough syrup is intended for use by children 1 year and older. It does not include any other Little Remedies products, and the company reports that serious adverse effects have yet to be reported. If you want more information, you can call the company. Here's your phone number. It's 1-800-754-8853. All right. So let's take care of those kiddos if they're experiencing any of those symptoms, or that you've got friends that maybe have kids that are 1 and up. Have them check their pantries to see if they in fact have that. All right. Do you recognize this gentleman? Lightning Strike singer and teen idol Lou Christie has passed away at the age of 82. A representative for the singer told USA Today he died June 17th. However, a cause of death still not provided. The Pittsburgh-born singer's wife confirmed to The Hollywood Reporter that he died at his home after a short illness. But again, right now, not being told what may have caused that. Well, a lot of the kids might be asking for Nintendo Switch 2s, right? Have they? Interesting what recently happened. $1.4 million worth of those Nintendo Switch 2 consoles were stolen from a semi-truck. This one happened in Bennett, Colorado. Deputies said the consoles, each valued at about $500, were stolen from the truck. That makes the total amount of the stolen consoles worth over $1.4 million. They responded, the police officers responded to a Love's truck stop in Bennett on the morning of June 8th, where a semi-truck driver reported his trailer had been broken into during a pre-trip inspection. So anyone with information regarding that case is asked to call the sheriff's office in Bennett, Colorado. Tipsters, of course, can remain anonymous, but this is the problem. We talk about things that are stolen and all these burglaries and robberies, etc. All it does is raise prices for everyone. So I'm just going to go back to, we got to teach our kids better, right? It's just, I just don't get it. I don't know anybody that I ever hung around that would do anything like that. So it just always doesn't make any sense to me. Okay, this is another good one for you. Listen up to each and every one of you. I'm trying to help you not have this happen to you. There was a newlywed teacher in Fort Worth, Texas, that lost his life savings in a banking scheme. He said, quote, "It felt like the end of the world." So what happened to him? Somebody, as you would imagine, posing as somebody from Chase. Of course, you're trusting them, right? So here's his warning. He lost his life savings after he answered a phone call from who he thought was his bank. However, the call was part of a sophisticated scheme. It felt real. He said it happened so fast. The 28-year-old said schemers called, convinced him they were bankers with Chase, then got away with all $32,000. That is his life savings, folks. He said it felt like the end of the world. He literally just got married. He stayed in on the weekends, never traveled, just to save that money to start a family. And he said, now we've entered into the world of living paycheck to paycheck. This is horrible. The schemers, by the way, pretended to work for Chase. They called him. They told him he'd been defrauded and needed to move his money into a new account. They sent him text and banking information that looked real. He said it's extremely violating. Chase gave him back just over $2,000. That's it. He wants them to make good on the other $30,000, but he was told he's not covered by fraud protection. In a statement, Chase said fraud on a bank account involves someone illegally accessing someone else's account and making withdrawals, transfers, or purchases without the account holder's permission. The scenario, like the one that this teacher was victim to, they say it's a deceptive scheme or a trick used to cheat someone out of their money or other valuable assets. If a customer isn't sure if the person calling is a real representative, they can call the number on the back of their bank card or visit a branch. Again, I'm going to tell you, it's happened to so many people that I know, family members and friends. Immediately, if your gut instinct is, I don't think this is right, hang up, just say, I'm going to call my bank. And they'll try to get you to stay on the phone with them, right? That's their scheme. Just hang up the phone. call on your own, and I'm guaranteeing they're going to tell you, we would never ask you to do this. They're never going to ask you for your social security number. I know we got to take care of our parents, but look, he's young. It happened to him as well. So we need to bond together as a community and just get all these tips out there. It's a scary world, isn't it? And here he is going paycheck by paycheck. Just again, I thought I needed, that's a kind of a news you can use story of beware that there's some really mean people out there that could completely damage your entire life. All right, yesterday the Cardinals did not play, so they got a twin bill on tap today. That was because of rain. So it's the Cardinals and the White Sox in game one at 1:10, and then the second game will be at 4:40. Here's your National Day of calendar. Today is Juneteenth, and some of you may have the day off. There are other offices that might be closed, so you might want to check. You may not get mail today, etc. World Sauntering Day, National Watch Day, and I'm going to give a shout out to the Galvin Watch Company. Susan is the owner and the watchmaker and repairer. If you didn't get a chance to see that interview that we did a couple months back, highly recommend that you watch that. So today's her day and everybody else, National Watch Day. It's National Free BSD Day, and then it's National Garfield the Cat Day. Do you even know who Garfield is? Some kids are like, what? Who the heck is Garfield? Okay, before we wrap up, I'm going to show you this story. This is a story that I think these girls will be talking about for the rest of their lives. So, were you ever a Girl Scout? I was. I was a Pixie, I was a Brownie, and I was a Girl Scout. So I have fond memories of going to camp and all the wonderful things that we did together, getting all the patches, wearing that, doing my sales for the Girl Scout cookies. But never did something like this happen to me. It didn't happen in our immediate area. It was in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. But these 100 Girl Scouts were rescued. Look at all the officials, the police, the firefighters, paramedics, etc., rescuing these girls from floodwaters at a park in Pennsylvania. They were getting ready for lunch. Right? Normal, right? At the pavilion in the park when things quickly took a turn. And one of the Girl Scouts said, it started raining really hard. We continued to cook, but then they blew the emergency horn and they said the rain started coming down like a curtain of water. A nearby creek then started overflowing. Some of the girls said, I was freaked out. I'm scared of thunderstorms. I mean, yeah, a lot of kids are, right? They said there was water everywhere. They looked over, there was water in the parking lot, flooding over the road. So quickly, they grabbed all of their food, walked up to the cabin. Then they got evacuated. Again, 100 Girl Scouts. And they said they will remember this for years to come. The official said no one was injured. That's the good news. Parents are breathing a sigh of relief now that their children are home safe. But can you imagine that happening to your girls or the Boy Scouts? Again, they'll be talking about it for a long time with their friends. Hey, remember that time that all of a sudden the water came from everywhere and police came and paramedics? Yeah, that was cool, right? They're going to say that. Yeah, that was cool. Parents are like, yeah, no, it wasn't. But now that they're home okay, again, breathing a sigh of relief. So there you go. That's how we get you all caught up. Let me go to the comment section. This is something that we did from day one. We've always been interactive with you. We didn't, though, have all these incredible platforms to reach the masses. And we didn't have sponsors back then either. So we've come a long way, folks, thanks to each and every one of you. So we couldn't do it without our wonderful sponsors, and we could not do it, again, without you watching each and every morning. And speaking of which, let's go to you. Good morning, Jenny. Jenny's at home for you, moderating. So be sure to always check what she works hard to put in the comments so that you don't have to go and find links and the phone numbers that I give, etc. And then also just warm in your hearts with her love. Linda says, good morning from South County, going to golf with my ladies. Well, Linda, have an incredible time. And again, hydrate yourself. Stay cool because it's a little warm, but if you're golfing this weekend, extra hydration, right? Good morning, Sean. Stephanie, good morning to you. Yeah, Julie says, good morning, friends, because you all are. That's just too hot for me. I know, right? Let's see. Who else is up and at 'em this morning? It's also something we used to say. How devastating. $30,000. I know. That is just hard. $32,000. That's his entire life savings that he lost. So Julie said she was a Pixie, a Brownie, a Junior, a Cadet, Seniors. They're all Girl Scouts. Yep, absolutely. I was only 3 of them. And for all of you that stayed in it, and by the way, the Scout Masters, we love you for all that you've done. Okay, I'm going to bounce around to all of the platforms. Good morning to all of you. Looking over on Instagram. Again, Jenny dropping all the comments into every platform so you don't have any issues. Good morning, Julia. Hope you're having a great day as well. Hope you're having a wonderful start. Okay, Finding purpose in pain. That's what we're going to talk about today. And then coming out of that, we are going to tell you what's on tap tomorrow. Get you ready for everything. As I mentioned, we didn't have sponsors when we started this in March of 2023. So we're thanking all of them and more to come. I've got a big announcement, by the way, for somebody new that's joining our show next, 2 weeks from now. I can't wait for that. You got to stay tuned. We'll have a big announcement coming up for that in just a couple of weeks.
When you want to feel good, you work out at Crunch. You don't go here, because here feels bad. But here we help you feel good, feel strong, feel rejuvenated.
Join Crunch Fitness today.
Carroll House Furniture Homes look the best because of our free design service. Our designers please your taste.
Let's reimagine your room with 50 brand name choices.
We'll create a 3D design with a 360 view for your room.
Free design services are just the beginning. Free 0% financing, fast free delivery and setup, and the guaranteed lowest prices in the country with no stipulations.
You'll get a perfect custom floor plan for your new dream room.
Carroll House Design, because you like nice things.
And there's just two of our sponsors. Again, you saw them all on the screen a little bit earlier, but thank you to Carroll House. Thank you to Crunch Fitness. And we can go on and on and on. Do you know a business that wants to be a part of this show? Again, aligning their business name with ours, our missions together, and getting thousands and thousands of people with eyes on your business, branding, positivity. Shoot an email to me, info@TheRealMonicaAdams.com. Jenny and I would love to come and have a meeting with you. Or maybe it's mobile Monicas. We didn't do those back in March of 2023 either. Mobile Monicas have become a big thing. So a lot of things that we can do together so that we can continue waking up with you every morning, Monday through Friday at 7 a.m. Good morning, Julia. Good morning, Diane. Tricia from Edwardsville. Good morning to you. All right, to all of you. We're going to take you back because there's so many names here that I see that I didn't get a chance to talk to in March of 2023. Did you ever want to know how the show started? Well, let's watch this together. And then at the end, and some of it might be, again, it might be linked to that time. So just realize that we're going back. I just want to be real with you. I didn't want to play this and come on and have you believe that this was live right now, me talking to you. It is live. I am here with you, but I'll be commenting as you drop in aha moments or any questions. And then we're going to come back at the end and tell you what's on tap tomorrow. Okay, let's give it a listen. All right. Happy Thursday and welcome in to the Real Monica Adams at Home podcast. Promised to come on for you right about 6:30. And again, we're looking for the flow that what is the best for you in the morning. The evening, wow, it's been really popular and so much fun. We had some really good comments last night. Everybody chiming in and having a good time together and making a difference. That's what it's about, making a difference and being kind to each other in the world. So we are talking about topics that are pressing on your mind, and you're letting me know how I can help you. We've talked about stress. We've talked about confidence building. We've talked about anxiety. I had a woman actually reach out to me after that Facebook Live and say how much it affected her, how powerful it was for her to be able to handle that and to hear things about how others are experiencing the exact same thing. That's what this is about. This is a community that we're building together, and 100%. You are not alone. 100% people are feeling what you're feeling. So anxiety was a really, really powerful one on Tuesday. And then we talked about holding on to hurt yesterday. That was my recorded message. Again, Wednesdays and Fridays are the days that I'm training live at 6 a.m. So it's the only 2 days that I won't be live with you. But Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, you get me live in the morning for sure. And you might get me in the evening as well. Always give a shout out to everybody that's popping on. So good morning to you, Steve Mounts. How's your day starting? I hope beautiful. Lynette Landher. Brenda Edgar, how are you? And looks like we had about 7 or 8 popping on here. Well, good morning to you. Again, is this a good time for you? What are you doing? Are you at the house getting ready, having breakfast? Do you work from home? Getting kind of the flow of the viewership as we are building and building. And I'll be letting you know when we will be launching this from the studios, when you can come for the grand opening or the soft opening. You'll be able to come and see the show. We've got speaking engagements that are coming up. So many things are planned. Really incredible meetings that are taking place of businesses that are wanting to be a part of this. What is the reason for that? Because they want to be involved in something positive. They have their own mission statement, right? And this is aligning with them. Yes, let's band together and let's change the world from a positive standpoint. We have to start, I will say, we need to stop talking about negativity and move forward with the things that are positive. Otherwise, it's just going to continue to weigh so heavily on your mind. And, the depression sinks in, and the anxiety and the stress that maybe was built up from years ago, talking about trauma from the past, etc. We're going to talk about how to survive abuse on Monday, and I'm going to have a guest on with me. I really want you to tune in for that one. If you can't do it live, of course, you can always have the recording a little bit later throughout the day, or days later. You put your earbuds on and listen to that. We need that type of a message about changing lives together. And again, if you haven't had a chance to tell me what topic you would like for me to cover, let me know, because these are the topics on your mind. I'm here for you. All of these topics we're covering over the next couple of weeks have to do with things that you've asked me to cover. So today is actually Nafisa Lester. She wanted me to talk about purpose in pain. Isn't that a powerful subject? So Ms. Lester, this one's for you. I'm not sure when she'll be able to see it. We'll tag her and let her know. In fact, I need to go back and tag everyone else that gave me topics so far. Lisa Lowry, Barbara Corey, Mark Lallement, and Tina Miller. And then tomorrow we'll wrap up the week with Corey Smith talking about building relationships. And I asked him, is it specific to personal relationships or business relationships? And he's like, let's just talk about all of it. So before we do that, let me say good morning to a few others as you're waking up. My dogs evidently are racing around downstairs. Do you remember when we were broadcasting live for the few months when the pandemic first launched? I don't know. My dog went viral because of her craziness and, trying to record some things, and she went nuts. They also would regularly sprint around the house, and I think that's what they're doing down there. Brenda White Edgar, I'm not sure if I said hi to you yet. I think so. Cheryl Leah. Brad Jett, good morning. Mary Hooker, Wanda Grayson, Ann Donnelly, good morning to you. Cheryl Lee said, I love what you're doing. Oh, I'm so glad. I'm happy to be doing this for you. And again, whether you are able to watch it live or you take this with you later, it's podcast that will soon be on platforms wherever you get your podcasts. Good morning, Bill Stadler. And it will be from here. I actually don't want to wrap up my home studio forever. What I'll do, though, is launch it in the studios in the Brentwood, Richmond Heights area, and maybe we'll do some private things from the home sometimes as well. Good morning, Linda Eckert. Letting a few more of you sign on. Good morning, Bill. Want to talk about the topic today that Ms. Lester wanted me to talk about. So we've got some more people popping on. This is for you. It's called Purpose in Pain. That was her topic. That's what she wanted me to discuss today. So a pretty powerful one that I've been thinking a lot about, and it is, why do we have to go through pain? Why do we have to suffer, young kids and adults alike? Okay, so we think about that topic. And I used to always use when I had clients that would, again, treat things like a boulder when it was really a pebble. Good morning, Carlston Edwards. So the purpose in pain has to do with your strength. Really, you find strength when you realize what you're able to go through. Think about that song that Kelly Clarkson did. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Isn't that absolutely true? Because when we come out of things that are gut-wrenching, and it could be to ourselves, it could be to those that we love around us, and we lose someone, or we get that phone call that you never want to get that says that you have cancer, okay? It's those things that are massive, but it's how we take those. How do we take that news? What do we do with that information? That is what starts to change your life. So I know a lot of people around me that unfortunately have been stricken with cancer. And it's the reaction in that. It's what happens in the seconds and the minutes and the days after that really are powerful and are what are going to start forming that path that unfortunately you're going to have to start walking. You do not have to walk it alone. That's when you start to form the community around you. It could be one person. It could be a few. It could be a long line that want to stand behind you and lift you up. And they will. People that really love you. Those that don't serve you any purpose, like I always say, well, guess what? They'll start disappearing. They won't be there for you. It's interesting when you get bad news and they don't want to be around. Yet when it's bad news for them, they want to push it all on you, right? Some people call them energy vampire suckers. That's why I've been talking about the give and take. Give and take. If you give 5 minutes to listen and then 5 minutes to talk, give and take every day. When that phone rings, you'll take the phone call because you know that you get your 5 minutes, they get their 5 minutes, and each together, you're helping each other. You want to be there for that person, right? You love that person genuinely. And if you don't, well, then, you know what? You're not serving their life and they're not serving yours. So let's talk about the phone calls of being told that you or someone that you deeply love has a life-altering illness, right? Maybe they're told they don't have more than 6 months to live, a year to live. What do they do with those days, those seconds? You know, at that point, every second truly starts mattering. That's the whole live like you were dying. Okay, that's what that song is all about. If you were told that news, what would you do with that pain, the purpose that comes out of that pain? You'd start looking at everything. The whole world looks different. You see the colors outside. You hear the birds chirping. You look in the eyes of a baby. You see the birth and then you see death. And you look at that circle of life and it all becomes so very powerful. But why don't you live your life like that always? Don't wait for the phone call. Don't wait for the bad news. Take it within yourself and start living your life right now, every second of every day, as though you don't have tomorrow. Because guess what, folks? You're not promised it. And I don't know how to get that across to people than continuing to say this message. And sometimes we have to hear the message repeated and repeated and repeated until it's our time to finally receive the message and listen and do something with that message, right? So you probably know someone right now that is suffering with cancer. You probably know someone right now that had a heart attack or has a myriad of illnesses. Maybe it's you. What are you doing with that information? So I have a woman that I personal train, and she told us a few months back, that she had breast cancer. And immediately she said, if anyone cries, if anyone starts to, get depressed, or anyone tries to pull that down, please don't be around me right now because I know I got this. And she gave me chills. She made me just want to cry because I was like, yes, think about that power. Or the person who is given that type of information and just shuts down and gives up. Do you understand the power that we have in ourselves to help ourselves heal? You'll go and talk with doctors, or you talk with people that are in holistic medicine, do energy work, do Reiki work, that beautiful marriage of Eastern, Western culture medicine, which I really think we need. And you have the people whose mindset is what doctors say help them live. Mindset, purpose in pain. Ms. Lester, that's what you wanted me to discuss today. Purpose in pain. Now, it could be pain within, as far as this is concerned, mental, physical, and spiritual pain. So pain, let's talk about the pain of working out, right? Those little tears that happen in the muscles are a good thing, by the way, and that's how the muscles grow. That's how they build. That's how we get stronger. Well, that's a good thing. Okay, but think about the emotional scars that no one ever sees. They don't see growth because they're inside and you wear it on your face. The darkness in your eyes, the never smiling, the frown, the sadness, the eyes down to the ground, the head looking down, the shoulders rounding in. The confidence is gone because the emotional scars, the scars on your heart have never been released. So there's a purpose in bringing it out, because when you bring it out, and I know it's vulnerable, but when you bring it out and you show yourself, there's someone there that wants to help you. There's someone there who's been there before, and they will be there, and you'll connect together. And the purpose is to bring it out and to affect each other. As the world, we need to hear that you are not okay, and nor is your neighbor. And it's okay to not be okay. It's not okay to hold it in, though, because all that does is suppress it down, and you push it down, and you push it down, and you push it down, and it's down deep in the belly. And guess what's going to happen? If I could hear you, you'd be answering. It's going to explode at some point on the wrong person. How many people have been on the receiving end of something that has been suppressed for so long by other people? Go ahead and do the little hand wave. Tell me that you've been there. I know. Or maybe you've done it to someone else. You don't mean to, but the problem is you haven't communicated it. You haven't talked about it. And that is what creates the issue. And when that person on the receiving end gets it, the lashing out, the screaming, the words, saying things to people that you know you don't really mean and you want to take it back as soon as it's coming out of your mouth. And you go, why in the world did I do it to them? You didn't mean to. But the problem is you never, ever talked about it. You pushed it down. Kids, parents, men, women, I don't care. We've all been there. We're human beings. We've all been there. But until someone like me, like others that are helping in the wellness industry, tell you it's okay to talk about it, find the right people that want to listen, find the right people that know that you will listen to them. That's the important part. It's not just take, give and take. Those people will help you and you will not erupt the volcano. Does that make sense? We're talking about, by the way, all of you that are tuning in, we're talking about purpose in pain. And we're talking about physical, emotional, mental scars. Scars on the heart, scars on the mind, scars in the brain, right? That have not been let go. And it's a dangerous thing. But what's the purpose in the pain? Finding inner strength. That is what I feel from the topic that Ms. Lester asked me to talk about today. That sometimes we have to walk through the life of pain. It's not all sunshine and roses and puppies, right? The only way we find our inner strength is to go through the ups and downs of life. You know, in my life coaching class for the last 3.5 years on Thursday nights, we have a really great one that's coming tonight. It is, hey, when they sign on and I say, all right, let's kick things off. How's your day? How have things been going? We would spend about the first 5 minutes just a mental check-in. And sometimes right away someone says, you know, not good. Can I speak first? Yes. And give them a few minutes to say what they say. We lift them up. We talk about some of the issues that they're going through. Others hear that they've been there as well. They lift each other up. It's a beautiful community, truly beautiful community. Then we go into the topics. And we go deep into the topics. And some people break out into private sessions with me because they've been dealing, and they suddenly say and hear themselves in what I'm talking about. Like, oh my gosh, is Monica talking directly to me? I'm talking to all of you because we've all been there. And it's that power in numbers. It's the power in knowing that there's past pain that can be released. And one of the messages was, if we leave it in too long, think about the darkness that settles in. And I know you don't want to be in darkness. You know, I saw a post from a friend of mine the other day, and she's like, sunshine is everything for me. And she had her sunglasses on and saw the beams shining on her face. And I was like, absolutely. Think about the warmth of the sun and how it feels on us. A little baby that feels it and has little cute sunglasses that you put on your children. And it's the beginning of it for them. And what that can do, the power of sun. I mean, think about doctors saying we need more vitamin D. We go through the winter, seasonal affective disorder, a real thing, because people want sunshine. You want to find the sunshine and the roses and the rainbows and the puppies. It's the happy place to be, but it's not always there. And on those Thursday nights when I tell the men and women that it's not always going to be up, you're going to come down and sometimes you're going to crash. And what happens when you crash? If you haven't surrounded yourself with the people who are going to help lift you up and take you out and help you out of that crash. But if all you've ever done in your life is take, well, then the line of people around you is going to be smaller and smaller and smaller because all they've ever seen is take. So we have to start doing what? Being kinder human beings, being more generous with our heart, be generous with the kindness and the caring. Let me take this jacket off for a second, and I want you to see this. I'll move the microphone. So thankful, grateful, blessed. Okay, I tell my clients and all of you that will be watching the podcast from now and as we launch it into our studios very soon, to get up. And some of you might just be waking up. You might still be in bed. And that's okay. I love the fact that before you ever get out of bed, that you're receiving this powerful message. So I want you to write down your word. And if you want to borrow one of these, use it. Are you thankful today? Are you grateful? Do you have blessings? You all do. You just have to realize it, no matter what the blessing may be. But find that word. And then if you're in pain right now, understand that there's a purpose in it. That sometimes we want that answer so bad, immediate, right? I talked the other day about the it society, the immediacy of I want it now, I want it now, I want it now. But do you know how beautiful it is to have patience? Do you know how beautiful it is to walk the path of pain and to know your strength? To know your strength is an incredible thing. And you take that forward in your life, in your business life, in your personal relationships, what you're able to do with that. And then you look back. And I love journaling because I want you to put the date and know where the pain happened. And then look how far you have come in the months ahead. Maybe you go back in a month, 3 months, 6 months. Like, let's think quarterly. You go into the quarterly aspect, or do the 6 month and a year. When you go back and realize how far you have come in a year's time from the pain that happened a year ago and what you've done with it. So we started this podcast talking about what do we do with pain, emotional, mental pain. Do we shut down? Do we say it's over? Do we give up? Or do we, I'm ready to do something with this? That is the powerful thing. And that's what I need you all to do. Whatever it is that you're walking right now, wherever the pain is coming from, let me help you through it. We'll be doing it on the podcast together. I had a lot of messages. I woke up this morning that said, Monica, I had no idea that your Thursday night class was open to the public. It is now. That's the beauty of being able to be your own boss and do your own thing and step away and start carving what I know the world needs more of. You didn't need me standing or sitting, because we stood as well, behind an acre desk and telling you more and more and more about the negativity of life. That is not changing the world. It's what we do with what is out there, and we turn it into a positive. So the pain that the world is suffering, that you are suffering, it's what we do with that. It's the changing of that. If you missed the beginning part of the message, please go back. That's the beauty of podcasts, right? They live on, and I'm going to change them deleting themselves in 30 days, because they always ask me that, and I say, yeah, sure, 30 days. But I think they need to be there because someone asked me to have them there as a resource. Absolutely. Let me shout out at some people that have been signing on that I didn't get a chance to after the early morning people. So I think I left off at Carlston. Carlston, I hope you're still on with us, because I know, my friend, that you have been dealing with some pain and some of those calls, right, that we never want to get, that cancer call. My dear friend Carlston, I've been praying for you, and you know that my family's got your back. John Baucom, how are you? Donna Dabney, good morning. Jim Fight, good morning to you. Cheryl Buscher, Jeffrey Stahl, Mary Bochanton, Kathy Babb, good morning. Joanne Rapp, Teresa Pauly. Oh my goodness, that's a name from my Fox 2 days. Let me take a quick drink here. Teresa, my dear friend, I hope you're still on, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Good morning, Kathy. Thank you for your encouraging messages. You are so welcome. And Kathy, I know, reached out to me. Kathy, I hope I see you in class very, very soon. Carl Frick, good morning. Chrissy Burmester, Bill Dane, Tracy Hess, Candy Cox, Rhonda Cross. Candy Cox says good morning. Good morning to you. Joanne Barry Price, maybe? Price. Michelle Fuhrer, good morning to you. Belinda Nance, good morning. Katie Rice, looking forward to having Katie in class very soon. Mary Coletta, Michelle Briggs says good morning. Good morning to you. Tracy Lee, good morning. So good morning. Okay, we've had a really powerful message in the last 20 minutes or so, and the topic today, again, was finding purpose in pain. A lot of times we think about pain and think it serves us. Not at all. That's what people think. There's no way that we should go through pain. There's no way that someone that we love should go through pain. But, I wish that we didn't, but that is unfortunately a part of life, whether it is a physical illness or whether it's the wounds of the world or the wounds of the past. We do go through them because there's purpose in finding your inner strength. And sometimes, whatever your faith is, God or whatever your guidance is, that person's trying to teach you, or this entity, whatever your belief is, again, is trying to show you that you're stronger than you think you are. And so since you're not seeing it, you're missing that path, you're missing the clarity. Unfortunately, we're going to put you through something so that you can realize you're stronger than you think you are. That's what I believe. That is what I have taught my clients for many, many years. And it is absolutely that you need to see your strength. You need to build upon that strength. Diane Zeich, I don't want to ever say names wrong. Diane, good morning to you. Linda Eckert, thank you for your words today. I listen as I do my morning treadmill routine. Oh, that's perfect. Yeah, when I'm done here, I have a client coming to the house at 8 a.m. I love Janice. Here's the deal. Janice is 70 years old. She'll be 71 this year. And she said when she hired me, I'm looking for a trainer that won't treat me like a 70-year-old. And it's so interesting because she said she spoke with physical therapists and doctors before that told her, oh, you should probably do water aerobics. And she's like, I don't want to do water aerobics. I'm stronger than you think I am. She knew her inner and outer strength. And I'll tell you what, wait till you see some of the videos that I'm going to be posting, reels and stories and posts that are showing my 64 and 70-year-old clients lifting 20 and 25-pound dumbbells. Think about that, in a chest press. I put them on this thing called a run rocket that we have at Force Performance. And it goes around your waist. There's a resistance part behind it. And you just take off, right? You just take off sprinting or running. Or if you can't do that and it's bad for your hips or your knees and you've got some issues with your ankles, then I just say, drive forward, engage the core, and pull those knees up. And she did it. And she's like, Monica, it was so empowering. Yeah, I don't want people to give up on others or have people in the wellness industry say, oh, you're in this category just because of your age. Come on. We have to believe in each other, whether you're a child and you show them their first steps to a senior citizen who I have taught how to do a plank. That's right. When I was training seniors at Friendship Village for 3 years, I had some incredible seniors there that went from lifting 1 pound. And if they never were taught that they were stronger than they thought, they would forever have lifted 1 pound. Well, don't you want your parents and your grandparents taken care of so that they are able to get up out of a chair, that they are able to do the simple things in life, that they're not aching as much? Well, we've got to get them to move. And so I had them coming in with their little walkers, right, with their heads down because of the aspect of this happening constantly, our bones, osteoporosis, osteopenia, spinal issues, structural issues. And guess what? In the 3 years that I trained them, they all suddenly changed their posture. They all had their heads up because I would put them on the treadmill on a very slow walk. And I wouldn't let them go like this on the treadmill. I was like, hey, where's our goals? Our goals are up here. Let's look at them up here. Oh, I loved it. We have formed such a beautiful community. That program ended just before I left Channel 5. And so that beautiful thing was taken away. I love that. But what do we do? They said, we're going to miss you. And I said, you're not going to miss me because we are friends. So I go to brunch with them. I love my clients at Friendship Village. That's right. We have brunch together because we formed a bond together. And when I form a bond with you, it is life lasting. That's important. Let's say good morning to some more wonderful people here. Good morning, Ron. Ron Colwire. Linda Edison, good morning to you. Connie Hupfield, good morning to you. Aaron Stiles, good morning. All right, tell me what your morning routine is. So we've been on for about 25 minutes. I said I'd come on about 6:30ish. So people were asking last night, hey, let's try 6:30. How's that look? Linda C. Miller. What I have found, though, is we have a really great audience, at least what I've seen, right about that 6:55, 6:57 as you go into 7 o'clock. Now, when I was in TV, one of the stations would go off at 7 and go into national news. The other station I was at, we'd go on until 9 o'clock. Big audience from 7 to 9. So this podcast formed about 2.5 weeks ago here from my home. But what we're going to do, we're going to take it to studios in the Brentwood, Richmond Heights area. That allows me to bring guests on with me. I think it'd be fun to maybe bring guests in my home, but that kind of would get hard. So we're taking it to studios so that I can bring it out to more and more with regards to me with guests. Me with you being able to come and visit the studios and maybe watch the show taking place. Otherwise, you, of course, could always watch on your favorite podcast platforms. But what we're trying to figure out is what's the best time. Like, are you going to take this, put your earbuds in and drive to work and listen? Is that what you're doing? Don't type if you're driving. Or are you listening to this later? It doesn't matter the time because you can take it later. But if it's live and I like to do the interaction, then I want to find the best time for you. So we're thinking like, is it 5 to 7? Is it 6 to 8 if I do 2 hours? I'm going to bring some contributors on. I have sponsors that are lining up wanting to be a part of this because they want their business aligned with this. They want the world to know about their mission. We had a beautiful, beautiful 2-hour meeting yesterday with a lady that I really think is going to be an incredible part of this show. And what her message is aligns with my message. And that's what it's about. I've worked hard for my name for 30 years of what I've done in the charitable aspect of life. I love giving back. See, the girls know. I love to give back to the world. And it's all those things in 30 years that whatever I do moving forward, I just want it to be positivity. Come here, Tess. See, that's the one that went viral when I was on the news. She's always talking. Hi, Gretchen Corpening, maybe, I hope. I think I said hi to Linda Seemeyer. Okay, Angie, good morning. Yes, everyone, no matter the age, is so empowering and encouraging in our workout group. Yes, that's the thing. So people have always wondered, okay, could I be a part of Monica's training in the class or in a semi-private? Absolutely. 1, don't give up on yourself. 2, I will never give up on you. I will show you just how strong you are. I will help you along with that. But the great thing about the group, whether it's semi-private or it's classes, is all ability levels, all shapes and sizes. I don't know where the belief came, and I heard this on my first interview when I left January 2nd. So the interview, I think, was on January 6th. I was on KMOX. And they said, well, hey, Monica, can you give us some tips? Because I know you train celebrities and professional athletes and whatever. And I said, whoa, like a screech. Hold on. Where'd that come from? Absolutely not. In fact, when I started in this business 25 years ago, my mentor, God rest his soul, Henry, I told him, I want to train the general public. And he's like, oh, well, we've got all these people that we could line up and, they know you're in radio and, I wasn't on TV at the time, but they know you're in radio and they know your name and they listen to you. And I said, okay, I want to separate. I'm not coming in here as Monica broadcaster. I'm coming in here as personal trainer. My love of fitness, my background in health and wellness and counseling and consulting and life coaching. I'm that person. I wear that hat, right? I have so many hats that I will take on and off. It's the broadcaster, it's the MC, it's the auctioneer, it's the motivational speaker, it's the personal trainer. And he's like, oh. And I said, I don't want to say, okay, she's just going to train models and celebrities. And absolutely not. So if that's ever been in someone's mind, which I guess was in this particular host's mind, I was like, screech, stop, pump the brakes. That's not true. Have I trained some athletes? Yes. Have I trained a couple celebrities? Yes, but that is very few and far between because I am for you. I am here for you. The general public, every one of us connecting together. I want to change lives on a grand scale from a fitness standpoint or speaking for your businesses. I had a lady actually write me this morning saying she wanted me to come and speak to a senior center and lift them up, right? So we want to put them in the best. They've done so much for us in their lives over decades. Come on, let's serve them well, whether it's babies, whether it's seniors. I don't care. I will help. I think my youngest client was 9 and my oldest was 95. I mean, that runs the gamut, right? Men and women and kids alike. So please know that you absolutely are ready. It's just, are you ready, right? You can come and you can start with 5 pounds like a client did a year ago. And she's now grabbing onto 35 pounds at the age of 65 and walking with them. It's called a farmer's carry. Oh my gosh, she teared up. It was so life-changing for her. That's what I want. So when the tears come, it's because there's purpose in pain. You are pushing that weight. You've got the little tears in the muscles that happen for the growth. You wake up the next day, you feel the soreness. That soreness is a reminder of how hard you worked. 2 days later, it might be a little more sore, and then it goes away. And then it builds again and builds again. It's that beautiful process. But what happens in the heart and in the mind when you leave it alone and you don't communicate and it just stays there? Well, there's no growth. We need personal growth. Physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, right? That's what this is about. Linda, love that your older ladies don't want to feel old. Oh, that's right. I love it. I'm 65, she says. She is only a number. I have osteoporosis, and it has slowed you down. Now you're at 4 miles of walking every day. Look at you, Linda Eckert. Congratulations. I love that. That's right. So then walking becomes a little jog maybe. My mom used to walk and then she started to do a little jog and then she wanted to run and she did a half marathon with me at the age of 69, I think. And now she's 85 and she still lifts weight every single day. Take care of the body you have. You only get one chance. And then when it's over, it's over. What did you do between the dash? You've heard that before. From your birth date to the end date. Your life is within that time period. The dash is your story. What do you do with the dash? Jeffrey Young, good morning. Linda Watson, good morning. Sharon Kwiatowski, she said I got her name right the other day, and that made me happy. Marissa Colonna, Marissa, I love you. Marissa is my dear cousin. Marissa, I'd like to see you in class. In fact, we've got some cousins that worked out 2 weeks ago. They're coming back again. They are out of town. I think they're coming back at the end, the last Saturday. You should be there. You can come this Saturday if you want. Everybody, I'm inviting you, but you have to let me know. You can't just show up because I need to form the class, make sure that we have everybody taken care of. So when I am, doing the writing and programming, it's knowing who's coming. How many do I have? What does that look like? Okay, so here's what I'm going to think. It's 7:07, and I see the greatest amount of people that have jumped on from about 6, like I thought, 6:50-ish, 6:55, and beyond. So although I'm thinking you're off to work at 7 o'clock, that wouldn't be the best time. I think it is. I don't think it is 6:30. 6:30, we had a smaller audience. We had 10, 11 people, and then it bounced back to 8, and then it grew beyond 20, 30. That's what I'm seeing in the evening. Actually, we were up to like 40 or 50 people that just got on and stayed on. So I need to know from you the best time for the lives. I'll be on. You want me to come on at a certain time, that's when I'll be on. But I want to find that consistency before we launch it in the studios. Because if it's 6 to 8 that's better for you, that's what we're going to do. For the live aspect. Of course, that will live for you to take and use it as a resource and go back to. But I like the interaction. I like, I'll be probably getting really deep into people coming on with me, guests coming on, and I'll be having somebody watch this. And then I'll say, all right, who's the new people on? And I think I like the fact that I started this. I will always give you a shout out. I want to make sure that we say hi to every one of you before we wrap up the broadcast and address every live question you have. So throw those questions at me. Good morning, Jamie. Okay, Katie. My mom sent me a picture of myself from 6 years ago when I was on such a great mental and physical space. She said, quote, "What were you doing here to be in such a good place?" I only I'm going to tear up. I only responded, Monica Adams. Well, let's go. Let's go, girl. Yeah, I love that. Do you understand what that means to me? Grateful, thankful, blessed. I do feel incredibly blessed to affect lives like that. Katie, that's an incredible testimonial to what God's blessed me with. The life coaching, the physical training. I've had a lot of people, I feel very blessed. Many years ago, I was voted as one of the top 3 trainers in all of our area, and it meant the world to me. I don't need those awards. Someone said, the gentleman who I work with, he's a videographer. He's like, when you set up your home studio, Monica, put like Emmys and awards behind you. And I said, no, I don't need that. I've been taught not to show off. I've been taught not to be too big for my britches. I don't need that. In fact, what I wanted was what matters to me. This flag, by the way, went up on Monday, and it will stay up through Sunday. Or if you'd like it to be a part of my forever broadcast, I will. I can leave it there. Otherwise, I might put some different fun things behind it. But I do want it to stay up through this weekend when we unfortunately say, rest in peace, dear soul, and dear sir, thank you for your service, to Mason Griffith and for the work that he did in law enforcement. And his life was taken way too early. So for everybody that's been writing me and telling me about these wonderful events that are taking place, keep looking. I will just forward those out so that you know about fundraisers that are happening, shirts that are being sold, proceeds that are going to his family, his wife and his 2 children that unfortunately he left behind. Yeah, very sad. But that's why it's back there, is that I absolutely back the blue, the men and women that put their lives on the line for us every day when they step out. Katie, I can't wait to get you started, my friend. And so 6 years ago, you were in a good place. Well, guess what? We're going to take you to a place you've never even known because you were there already. So let's go even deeper. Let's go even bigger. Let's get this right, and this right. And let's show your mom. And when your mom comes in, I don't think your mom lives here. If I remember correctly, I think mom's in Florida. When mom comes in, I'd like to see you train together. I'd love to see both of you. I have a client right now who, when her sister and niece come in town from California, she brings them in. And that's it. It's the community around you. Constantly surround yourself with people that are going to lift you up and bring them with you on the path. Jillian Beckerman, hello. Dwayne Hedrick, good morning to you. Rick Patton, Dwayne says, have a great day. Good morning, Joan. hello from North Mountains. Well, hello, Dwayne. Jamie Rice says good morning. Dwayne Hedrick, Mom loves your outfit. Well, great. I love purple. Purple is one of my favorite colors, of course. Blue is my absolute favorite, but it's really about what this shirt says. And then, hi, y'all. Hey, y'all. I always believed I was a little Southern. My mom used to say, let me give you a little background. My mom used to say when I was a little girl, this is a funny story. She's in the kitchen. She's got an old cassette of this. She's in the kitchen and she's making bacon. And I walk in as a little girl. I don't remember if I was like 3. I think I was 3. And I said, what's that? With this country accent. And I grew up here, but I've always had a little Southern belle in me. What's that? And she said, bacon. And I said, I don't like bacon. And she said, yes, you do. And I said, I do? It's the cutest thing. And so when I was on air, I don't know where it comes from, except for I think my heart's in the South sometimes. My husband's, some of his dearest cousins, I love visiting them. They're in Birmingham, Alabama. Love to visit there. We went to Charleston, South Carolina, and my heart is there. I don't want to move. I love being here with my mom and my family, but I tell you what, if we ever pulled the trigger, I know we'd go to the South. Jim loves the South so much. I love the class of the South. I love the fashion of the South. And I love the way they treat one another. And we need a little more of that. We need a little, hey y'all, in our lives. Okay, Jamie, good morning. I think I said good morning. Yes, Peggy Green, good morning. Dwayne says, Monica's awesome. You're awesome. Look at all those hearts you gave me. That's to you as well. Barbara Corey. Barbara, I hope you heard your confidence building topic the other day. Let me know if you did. If you didn't, go back. It's from Tuesdays. So be sure to go back to Tuesdays on my page. Karen Smith, Wayne Johnson, Senior, Denise Dauphin, Katie. Yep, she is in Florida. I thought so. Tell her to come in. Or you know what? Oh, better yet, I can train her virtually. Did you all know that? So Dwayne, wherever you are, I think you were in Georgia, if I remember correctly. There are people from all over the United States, and we can go all over the world. You can train with me virtually, mentally, or physically. If you want the life coaching, that's done via Zoom anyway, so that can be done anywhere. Spread that around to people, your family and friends that are in other states. Tell them, I've got this woman who's going to change your life, and turn them on to me. Have them email me, info@TheRealMonicaAdams.com. That's my email address. And I love the fact that I'm waking up to more and more messages of people wanting just this. They want to be better. You want to be well. Yeah, North Georgia mountains. I thought so, Dwayne. I thought so. Good morning to you. Nicole Graneman, good morning from Owensville. Oh, did you know Mason? Owensville. Yeah, let me know. I believe that's where the service will be. Dwayne Hedrick, Grandma's favorite color was purple. Aw, it is a great color, isn't it? Angela Warren, you inspire me. You inspire me because you're here listening to the message. And without all of you, I wouldn't be doing this, right? I'd be talking to myself. And that's no good. We need to get the word out to everyone. Laura Schneider, good morning. Lisa Lowry. Lisa, let me know how I'm going to get that cobalt blue hat. I can't wait. I was actually going to put my pink Mercedes hat on this morning, but I put the hey y'all because I knew I was going to tell you that country story. Anne, have a great day, everyone. Anne's got to get off to work. Get to work. Nora Louise, how are you? Okay, we've got about 24 of you still on. What are the topics that you would like me to carry into April? Let's start lining that up. I actually need to get my journal. I need a new journal because this one's full. What we've done so far since we started this is we've covered stress. You can go back to Fridays. Again, these are there. I have them right there right now for 30 days. 30 days. But I might just let them be there, or we'll start to transfer them onto my YouTube page. Follow that, by the way, at TheRealMonicaAdams on YouTube, because that's where we're going to be doing a TV show. That's where we'll be pushing out the podcast, Facebook Live, all the podcast platforms. But I want to build that up. And as we build up the YouTube page, we will have more and more content on there. I will do some recorded content that I'll put there as well as the lives. You'll have both of those. Lisa said, come by anytime. Okay, you got it. I don't know when you're there, so I don't want to just say, hey, Lisa's got a hat for me. I actually do. I do want to talk with you, by the way. I have an incredible idea for you and your staff. So do me a favor, email me. Let me know your best days and times, because I do want to come and talk to your staff about a design idea that I have. Laura Schneider, good morning. We love you. I love you. Good morning to you. Bill Rainey, hello. Let's see. I said hi to Nora Louise. Okay, topics. Give me some topics. So we've covered stress, confidence building, anxiety, holding on to hurt. Today's was purpose and pain. And that message, by the way, is at the beginning of this podcast. So I'm going to be wrapping up here soon. I have a client coming at 8. I want to get my protein shake in me, be ready for her. Then I'll do my training and then on with a bunch of meetings. A lot of meetings since I stepped away a couple months ago. An incredible amount of meetings that really serve my heart and is what's really forming this community that we're building. A lot of exciting things with regards to the podcast, the TV show, the personal styling, the line. Did you see the line? I'm so excited about this athletic line for men and women. We've got some orders already that we're putting in, and then a lot of appointments set up to do some custom work for men and women for weddings, just to spruce up. Oh my gosh, let me say hi to Kathy. Kathy Filsinger, I don't think she's on right now. I met Kathy yesterday in person. I do some styling with Christopher's for women as well as Mark Anthony's for men for what's in the store. But then the custom, that's where we really have fun. The custom designing takes place at a place in Clayton, okay? So both can be done. She's actually coming to me tomorrow and we'll be designing the suit and blouse for her. But what we did yesterday was, I told her, look through your closet. Let's see what's missing. Let's add to some pieces. Or she said, let's just start with a brand new canvas. I just love the thing about fashion that I've always loved so much is what it does to building confidence. When you put on colors that bring out the pigmentation, the coloring in your eyes, it brings out this smile. Whether you're in a dark place, you put on something that makes you feel good, and it just changes the world. It changes the way you walk in a room. And when she came in, I was like, yeah, see, these are muted colors. They don't do anything for your beautiful eyes. And my gosh, you have the most gorgeous skin. And then after she left there, she's like, can I give you a hug? I'm like, oh, absolutely. I'm a big hugger. We gave each other a hug. She's like, I'll see you on Friday. But she has a whole new wardrobe of some beautiful clothes, from dresses to jackets to blouses that she's going to put together. One, in fact, I told her, you've got to get together with some girlfriends and go to brunch. And you have to wear this because they're going to be like, wow, look at Kathy. We all have it in you, but we have to find your style. So when someone says, I want to wear what you wear, Monica, or I want to wear what your husband wears. And I was like, well, you could, but is that you? We've got to find that. That's the thing I love. My mom taught me in classes when I was growing up, color analysis. I went through that with the program that they had in place where she was a seamstress. And then I just started to develop it over the years and started really helping men and women know what their colors were, what they should stay within. And that really helps you when you're shopping, by the way. Somebody just said, where can I find your clothing line? Email me, Barbara. I will give you all that information. info@TheRealMonicaAdams.com. I can send that to you. It's easier than me saying it. Just shoot me a quick email and I'll give you a rundown of what I can do. The custom work is done at Bespoke in Clayton, and those are by appointment only. Because if you walk in, there are a few things we have in house, like some colognes for men. We've got some accessories like cufflinks and pocket squares and lapel pins and ties and things like that. But for the most part, David and Danny Corbett put this together, and since 1989, they've been around doing amazing work. And they brought me on, excuse me, a year and a half ago. And I've been doing that with men, and I've had women constantly say, when's it our turn? Well, I said, I just needed to walk away from TV to finally do it, but I was always going to take care of you. I just needed to make sure I had the time. So we started with men, and now we are doing women. I've styled women here and there behind the scenes for a while, consulted women, but now it's about bringing it all together. I see it as Wednesday. Last week, we did that Become conference. And that kind of connection was incredible. I spoke about knowing your value, and then I launched the line, Know Your Value, from executive wear to workout. And what I'm excited to do moving forward is really get my sketches and put that together more and more and more, and those designs and what I know you want. So I'd also love to hear from you on that aspect. What do you want in workout clothes? What do you want in business gear? What do you want in athleisure wear? What do you want in going out on a date, right? What do you want in those things? We can work together and do some designs. And then on the inside of your jacket, you show this really cool, fun lining that really shows your personality. And then you can have your name, or you can have a special date that has to do with maybe when you got married, your anniversary, a nickname, a song that has to do with you. I don't care. Whatever it is, that's the fun little pop on the inside. But it's also going to say, know your value, a Monica Adams collection. And I love that because it will forever remind you of how important you are. And I wanted to launch that. I wanted to do that for a long time, and we were able to just start doing it. Okay, let's see here. Let me go back. Okay, so I addressed that with Barbara. Don't forget to email me, and I'll let you know. I can give you all that information, Barbara. Anybody else that wants to know, info@TheRealMonicaAdams.com, and I check my emails several times throughout the day. Stephen, the light's in the way. Walters, good morning. Okay, Jillian, I totally agree. On a lot of my down, depressing days, I dress with color. Yes, and it does make me feel better. It is absolutely psychological. Do you also know that it has to do with smells? So if you wake up and you're putting on clothes and you put on a particular color, there's actually a science behind what you choose in your perfumes and your colognes or your lotions, because it's supposed to all blend together, make you feel a certain way. There was a woman that I absolutely loved when I used to go to Nordstrom. I used to buy all my perfume back then. She was incredible. Her name was Pat. I don't know if she's around anymore, but I'll tell you what, you want to talk about an encyclopedia of knowing colognes and perfumes and knowing the blend. You know, you think about wine and what goes into it and how they make that, and people will ask, what's in the blend? What are the grapes? For her, I would say, oh, I really like Christian Dior's Poison. What's in that? And she would just list it off. Boo, 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 boo. Then I'd say, she's like, what else do you get, compliments on? And I said, well, I like light blue. Back then, I liked light blue. I said, I like, what's the one that one of my favorite actresses, she does the commercial. Oh, J'adore. And what ended up happening, Pat was like, oh, well, of course, you're going to get compliments on all of that because this is in all of them. And we found that inner thread that was in the blend, and that's what I choose now for my perfumes. Isn't that exciting? So for those of you that are wanting more compliments, instead of just buying a cologne, start finding the things that you get complimented on. Find someone who is really good in that industry that knows the blends, and they'll pull out the one that you are most likely getting the compliment on. Because it blends with our different pheromones. So what Poison, I love Poison from like back when I was in grade school. I always have a bottle of Poison. And people always say, that's your signature. It's funny, the name, because it's not a name I would choose, but the name Poison doesn't connect with me as far as how I live my life, but perfume-wise, it does. And so I make sure I always have a bottle of that. I like to do it more, it's a little heavier perfume. I like to do it more like in the fall and the winter, but love that. And then I have a handful. I love perfumes as much as I love fashion. So yes, if you're not feeling well, don't put on black. Put on some good colors. It'll make you feel better. You're absolutely right, Jillian. Daryl Penberthy, have a wonderful day. Debbie Masson, good morning. Linda Eckert. Oh, hang on. Linda, let's go back. I just missed. Live chat starting at 6:30 a.m. Perfect. Yeah, that's fine. I'll do it because we'll probably stay on for about an hour. I'm going to wrap up in 5 minutes. That'll be a full hour because I got to get ready for Janice that's coming. And got to feed my body proper nutrition. Make sure you do so. This right now is water. I always talk about the importance of starting your day with water. Then get that proper nutrition in you. Get your workouts in. Start that habit, even if it's just going for a walk. And hopefully this weather is going to start warming up. So Linda, yes, 6:30, 6:45 I think is a good time, and then we'll go for about an hour, and then we'll build, and it'll end up being 2 hours, most likely. That's the talks we're in right now as I bring guests on, and we really start affecting with some contributors that I have lined up. Jerry Hammer, good morning. Linda, you helped me get through my workout. Love the whole color topic. I totally agree and try to do this. Perfect. Jillian, should I be embarrassed or ashamed that out of all of my friends, I have the most flamboyant standout? I like to dress for my own style self. Should you be embarrassed? No, absolutely not. Because you have to find your unique self. You own it. Do you feel good in it? That's all that matters, right? I don't care if somebody wears neon green. I don't care if you are walking down the street, and by the way, reflective colors are good. If you're wearing oranges, big, bright orange, wow, right? I don't care if someone says, wow, hold on, I need sunglasses. Why would they talk negatively, right? Let's just compliment someone. Do you have a big smile on your face when you wear big, bright, or you put the word flamboyant? Do you like it? Do you love it? Then own it, girl. Own it. No, you should never, ever apologize or be embarrassed for anything. So you do you. Swim your swim. Stay in your lane, folks. Stop. If someone's saying something to you and they think it's crazy that you're wearing the colors, That's their own jealousies and insecurities. When people lash out and they're like, well, you're doing this, you're doing that, that's because they're not in a good space. They're not in a good headspace. This is really good podcast today because we covered so many different topics. And we started with the one that is called Purpose and Pain. And that was for probably about the first 20 minutes that we discussed. What can you do with pain? You've all been in bad places, but what do? Do you stay there? Do you never talk about it? That's what I've discussed in this hour. And it's what you do with the pain and how you turn it around when you find your strength. Sherry Lowe, good morning. Carol Faulkner, good morning to you. Hi, Sherry. Own it, sis. Never dim your light. That's right. I love her. That's my girl. That's my hairstylist. Beyond that, she is my dear friend. She's my soul sister, my fitness sister. Jill Missy, good morning. Justin Baldwin, good morning to you. Janice, I will see you in 33 minutes. Janice is one of my clients that I've quickly become very close with in, I think, 2.5, maybe short month. No, not even 2. Well, yeah, we're closing in on 2 months because I just met her once I left and walked away from TV and I started training her. And she has gotten so strong and has come a long way. Nancy Dorenkamp, good morning to you. Okay, we've got a few more minutes. Any topics you want me to start covering? I think we have a couple days before we wrap up the month that we still need topics for. I think we're through the 30th. So one more to wrap up the month, and then what would you like me to cover for April? I'll give you a couple more minutes. What do you think? And I can't be quiet because none of you can talk. You can say stuff though, and I'll put it in. Let me do that rundown for you before we wrap up. So today was Purpose and Pain. So go back to listen to these podcasts, by the way. If you haven't had a chance to see them live, then go back and watch the recordings. Use them as a podcast. I don't have it pushed out. This is really more of a very unique boutique way of starting the podcast. It's very private. We're together. And then it will be going out to all the podcast platforms. So we've talked about stress, confidence building, anxiety, holding on to hurt, and then purpose and pain was this morning's topic. And these are, by the way, your topics. These are from all of you. So it's Mark Lallement, Barbara Corey, Lisa Lowry, Tina Miller, Nafisa Lester. Those are the topics we've had so far. Tomorrow is Corey Smith's day. Corey Smith's topic. It's all of yours. It's everybody's day, right? It's how we receive the message and what we do with it. But Corey asked me to cover building relationships, business and personal relationships, and how we do that, and what's the best way. And when someone's not serving you the best, how to, I would say, to end. All right, I'm back with you live now. So we were going back in the archives, and so I'm going to cut it there because that's not on tap tomorrow. Tomorrow is our Foodie Friday, which is something we weren't doing back then. All right, Kate, we've got a handful of you on right now. We've got 35 total between all of the platforms. We've got just a few of you still on Facebook. That's how it started, folks. If you never knew, and I was commenting back and forth with Rose, and Rose said that she wasn't watching the show back then, didn't know that we had it. We have built it and built it and built it, and I have all of you to thank for that. So what I ask you to do is take this show, for people who never saw it before, share it with the masses. I think it was really powerful, but did you hear that at the very end? How many of you were saying, tomorrow, can you cover this? Tomorrow, can you cover that? I want you to go back to that. I want you to be heard. So start thinking of those topics. And then this is what we'll do on these Wellness Wednesdays and Thursdays when I am not out at Yuppie Puppies or I'm not running over to Defiance Ridge to do Wet Your Whistle. It's you and I. I never want to lose this element because that is how it started. And if you listen to that, we started it at 6:30 in the morning, but we were doing shows in the morning and in the afternoon. I know my team's probably like, yeah, don't do that again. I don't want to work in the morning and the evening both. I get that. I totally understand. Trust me. What we were doing though was kind of feel out. Where did you want us? 6:30, 7. It started really getting to where 7 o'clock was the best. But if I needed to, I would go back into the 6 o'clock hour, maybe a little bit, even 6:45 to like 8:30. But a lot of these shows in the last couple of months have been going longer. Like today, we're about, an hour, 18 minutes. So instead of having to wrap up at an hour, we saw that there was an audience. Like I said, there's 37 of you on right now with all of the platforms. we saw that audience wanting us to stick around and continue to either do this together, like life coaching, or to have our clients together. We have built so many things. At the time, obviously, I was just doing the show at home. We didn't have Medical Monday. We didn't have Positive Talk Time. We didn't have Wet Your Whistle Wednesday. We didn't have Foodie Friday, Fitness Friday, any of those things. All of that has been built by things that I hear from you. So I went back into the archives to bring it forward. What are we doing now that you would like for us to build on even more? Or what are we not doing anymore for those of you diehards? And did you hear me shout out to Linda Eckert? Linda's been one of the very first, as well as Rich Melching, one of the very first that found us back in the spring of 2023. And to all of you that has been waking up, I mean, trust me when I know that that is a blessing, that you do that every single day for the last couple of years plus. So thank you, thank you, thank you from the bottom of my heart. And to all of you brand new ones, I'm seeing names that I haven't seen before. I don't know if she's still on, but Allison Bayer, Linda St. Germain, Vicky Buchanan Tamaka, Kathy Fuchs, hello to you. I just got done personal trainer. Am I saying your name right, Kathy? Is it Fuchs? Fuchs, maybe it's Fuchs. Ann Butterfield. Rose, I love you. I've been watching for a long, long time. She said, I didn't realize that you were doing it in the beginning. Diane Seiberg and Sarah Jones, Julia Kohlberg, Chrissy Reed, hello, hello, hello. Everybody, hello. That's how we used to do it, that I would just give shout outs and then I wanted you to ask questions and comments. And the main thing is, are there things that you would love for us to do moving forward now in the show that we have never done before or that we used to do that you want me to bring back? And one of the things I want to bring back is this. I had a calendar right next to me. I also used to light a candle. And these are trivia questions for you. I used to light a candle every single day, all to bring the light in the world to you. So I would love for you to tell me if there's topics that you would like for me to cover. Rose said, my friends know not to call me before 8 a.m. I love it. Well, thanks for watching. As I mentioned, one of the things that we didn't have around in spring of 2023 was Foodie Friday, which is on tap tomorrow. This is what you can expect. This one, or is it just apple peanut butter chocolate chips? Yeah. It's that, right? Peanut butter, chocolate chip, and then we use our cosmic. And keep their minds working. And turn that off. Remember to always turn your appliances off. Just a little pizza sauce and a tortilla. Hey everyone, and welcome to another Foodie Friday. This one's going to be fun. Today we're going to cook with the kids. We are at Slimer Brothers Appliances in West County. Hannah Egan has been my guest today, cooking with the kids. Yeah, that's the best thing. See? We made our little pizza quesadillas. This one's carb balance. We do corn. That's yummy.
Like I
Really
like
answer.
doing it, but I feel like I
This one's the crispiest, she says. It's a little hot. Just saying. Put it all together. I'm gonna make a little boat. Try my. Oh, I didn't know. High five. Oh, I love it. Here, take a color. Thank you so much. All right, that's tomorrow. Just a little sneak peek. So that's McKenna Egan. That is our wonderful assistant moderator extraordinaire, Jenny Egan's daughter. And it's the very first Cooking with Kids segment that I've done. So that's on tap tomorrow. We're not going to have that go away anytime soon. And by the way, welcome aboard to Sliman Brothers Appliances, another one of our sponsors. I mean, again, folks, it has grown exponentially in 2.5 years to a huge audience and to sponsors like crazy. And let's keep going. Come on, we're here to take over the world. Hello to Willow Berg, Leovan Manolo. Again, for all of you that are brand new to the show, welcome aboard. We're here for you every day, Monday through Friday at 7 a.m. So coming up this weekend, again, it's the big Dudes Playground Poker Run starting at 12 o'clock. If you haven't been following Dudes Playground on social media, do so. Also follow Richard Melching. He is crazy, and he's been talking about us coming there. 12 o'clock is the broadcast on Saturday, and then 1 o'clock we're taking off. 5 stops, coming back, food, drinks, entertainment. And again, 9:15, stick around because you'll have the sparklers display. It's going to be a beautiful one. And then our next Mobile Monica is going to be the following Sunday. This is June 29th, 9:30 in the morning, live on all of our platforms. We will be at Golden Nails, 964 Brookwood Center in Fenton. So if you are needing a manicure or a pedicure, I'd love for you to come out. In fact, for all of you that watch our show, you're going to get 10% off of a bundle. So share that with your family and friends. 10% off of a manicure, pedicure, all because you're smart enough to watch our show. And so it's just a little secret between all of us, right? Golden Nails, again, in Fenton. It's the one in Fenton, folks. It's 964 Brookwood Center. Come and get your manicures and pedicures done with us. We did have 9 people already sign up, and that is the amount of seats that they have during the live broadcast. You can come and watch the broadcast if you want to, and then get your nails done as soon as they're done. Contact me, by the way, or you can contact Golden Nails directly now that we've got those filled, and just say, hey, I want to come. I can't get my nails done, obviously, during the time that they're doing the broadcast, but you can still get the 10% off throughout the day. For all of their customers, they're putting names in a jar, and they're going to be giving away a $100 gift card. As well, there's a basket for those 9 people that are during the broadcast, and one of those 9 is going to win this really cool basket that they put together. So yeah, a lot of fun things, by the way. Let me see here. Anybody else? Angela Breeding, good morning. Peanut Butter Nicole's. I've never seen that before. All these people that are signing on. Sometimes we're on a little past 8 o'clock, and other times we wrap up right at 8 o'clock. We went back into the archives. I hope you enjoy that, and we can do that from time to time for those of you that, again, never had a chance to see those shows. Well, I hope you have a beautiful one. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll be joined by Beckett Moore, our aspiring meteorologist. We've got Foodie Friday from Slyman Brothers Appliances in West County with McKenna Egan. And we will take care of you on the fitness realm, because Fridays have now turned into Foodie and Fitness Fridays. So if there's ever anything you want me to cover in the realm of working out, I mean, there's a lot under that umbrella. You got to let me know. Let me cover that, and then we'll tape that for you at Crunch Fitness, our new national sponsor. It's been a lot of fun today. Thank you so much again for watching. Keep yourself safe. Remember, the greatest thing that we didn't say back then that we say at the end of every show now is believe in yourself. Have a beautiful one. Say hi to a new stranger that now maybe becomes your best friend. Whatever it may be kind. It's the greatest thing you can be in life. God bless you all. I'll see you tomorrow morning at 7 a.m.